In today's less fucked up news, Axios is reporting that Kamala Harris has apparently reached out to the Zoran Mamdani camp to have private conversations about 2028. Interesting. It's almost like Zoran has been leading the party and everyone is now recognizing it. But in other news, here is my favorite tweet of the night. In today's news roundup, AI is going to steal all of our water by 2030. Mitch McConnell was found unconscious before he went to the hospital, apparently. The old guard starts freaking the fuck out about the DSA takeover once again. And when a GOP rep is asked about affordability, his response was, "I'm going to eat ribeye steak and lobster tail." And for my last piece, here is Hassan Piker dancing to a pretty famous song.
We are Charlie Kirk, we carry it to flame, we'll fit for the gospel, we'll honor his name. We are Charlie Kirk, his good is our own, to get to run broken, we'll make heaven known. We are Charlie Kirk, his good is our own, to get to run broken, we'll make heaven known.
All right, David Dayen of the American Prospect is going to be on the broadcast now, ladies and gentlemen.
The fascist regime of America just arrested a U.S. major in the Air Force. For what crime exactly? He protested at the Capitol. I want you to watch this video and then tell me something. Tell me, one, how is this illegal? And two, how are our rights not being stomped on as we speak? The First Amendment in this country is absolutely and utterly dead.
My name is Jason Watson. I'm an active duty major in the United States Air Force. However, who I am is immaterial. In the grand scheme of things, I'm just a nobody. What matters far more than who I am is what I have to say and the price I'm willing to pay to say it. I, Jason Paul Watson, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I'm about to enter. So help me God. I first swore this oath over 20 years ago upon entering basic cadet training at the United States Air Force Academy in late June of 2005. When the President of the United States orders military action against foreign countries, absent an emergency scenario where American interests are under imminent, dire threat, as was done with Venezuela, Cuba, and Iran, that's an unconstitutional usurpation of Congress's authority and a violation of the War Powers Clause. These violations resulted in the deaths of 13 service members and injuries of hundreds more. For this, the President and Vice President must be impeached, convicted, and removed.
In today's fucked up news, Donald Trump finally admits that he's not America first. We all knew it was a scam, but today, in a live interview, he said, end quotes, he has been the best president in the history of Israel. It's almost like he's trying to cover his ass because of all the blackmail, but I don't know.
Because I've been the best president in the history of Israel.
In today's frankly gross to talk about news, Dementia Don has a weird ass slip up and says he's going to have a threesome with his two sons. I don't have any commentary, just watch the fucking video.
Now as I see my two beautiful sons sitting there, I think I'm going to give one to myself, one to them, and we'll have a threesome, okay?
Give me flag. Flag to the front. That's about it. We're good.
Do you guys remember when we saw this? NSPM 7, where it says any un-American acts are seen as traitorous to the country? Well, from my perspective, being a Nazi apparently isn't traitorous because there was no action taken by our government for this rally. So, take that with what you will. Happy 4th of July. In today's fucked up news, Xbox has reportedly fired over 3,000 workers in their attempt to quote-unquote fix the company. I'm just gonna say it. The only thing that AI should be replacing are the CEOs. These people are the leeches of our country, and if they can't take a pay cut so the workers can keep their jobs, then they should be replaced. It is time to go over the Mitch McConnell situation, comrades. About 3 weeks ago, we found out that he was hospitalized for unknown reasons. After his hospitalization, Representative Thune comes out and says that he checked in on him and he's doing just fine. 3 weeks go by, and nothing. No words, no nothing. We then get some news leaks that state that when they found him, he was non-conscious. Laura Loomer then comes out and states that he is technically brain dead from what her insiders are telling her. After that, we have Mitch McConnell's daughter coming out and deleting her X accounts. All of this tells me that this man is probably dead, or brain dead, or completely unable to perform any normal duties like an actual senator should.
I thought I saw your face today, but I just turned my head away, your face against the trees. But I just see.
In today's news roundup, Donald Trump embraces communism with his 25 Freedom fuel gas stations. Next, we have Donald Trump trying to push for the 14th Amendment to be destroyed again because he doesn't understand what no means. And to add to that, Donald Trump actually lost his court appeal with E. Jean Carroll, and now he must pay $5 million in damages plus $800,000 in interest. MAGA, I hope you can hear me when I say this, he will forever be known as a rapist and a PDF, so go fuck yourself. In today's fucked up news, Instagram is apparently stealing your face by allowing their AI models to copy your face and then allow other people to copy your face and do whatever they want with it. This happened on July 7th without telling anybody, so let me go ahead and show you how to turn it off. And today's interesting news, and I'm saying that for legal reasons, Jake Long, or better known as the January 6th Nazi-alike white nationalist, got his shit absolutely rocked in LA. Take a look at this.
We've got journalists in hijabs here. Journalists in hijabs. Doesn't get much better than this.
Jake, how do you feel about the Constitution and right to religious freedom?
I believe that you should lose your right to vote.
Oh!
Stop hitting me. Hey, shit, what's Get off! Get the fuck out of LA! Be peaceful! Be peaceful! Alright, get the First Amendment! Get off! First Amendment, my Get the fuck out!
He's now stepping into oncoming traffic! He's stepping into traffic!
Get him out here!
He's a fucking white supremacist!
We're taking the battle now! Fuck right back! Get him out of our city! Get him
I'm gonna help you!
Fuck you! I don't even know if that's a parallel point! I don't even know if that's a parallel point!
Get the fuck out of here! So now he's being escorted out.
Yeah, because you punch females, right? Yeah, you do.
Any transgender that punches me gets punched back. Any transgender that comes at me gets punched back.
In today's really fucking funny news, former head of DHS, Kristi Noem, is now officially divorcing her husband. The real reason has not been confessed to the public quite yet, but I think we all understand why she's doing it. In today's fucked up news, the new head of DHS is demanding that states bend the knee to the federal government or else they will not receive FEMA funding. I have a question. Why the fuck are we paying taxes to the federal government at all anymore? This generally feels like we're paying for our own oppression, and the Democrats need to look into what escrow funds are immediately. In today's absolutely horrific news, ICE, fresh off of killing one innocent person, has reportedly just killed another in Binford, Maine. In today's less fucked up news, the US Senate shut down a bill that would have given more money to the military-industrial complex and merge our military with Israel. I'm happy to say that our government actually did the right thing for once. Mainly, I mean the Democrats.
On this vote, the yeas are 50, the nays are 46. 3/5 of the Senate duly chosen and sworn not having voted in the affirmative, the motion is not agreed to. The majority leader.
Mr. President, I enter a motion to reconsider.
The motion is entered.
Sorry. And I move to proceed to calendar number 436, S4784.
In today's less fucked up news, the US Senate shut down a bill that would have given more money to the military-industrial complex and merge our military with Israel. I'm happy to say that our government actually did the right thing for once. Mainly, I mean the Democrats.
On this vote, the yeas are 50, the nays are 46. 3/5 of the Senate duly chosen and sworn, not having voted in the affirmative, the motion is not agreed to. The majority leader.
Mr. President, I enter a motion to reconsider.
The motion is entered.
Sorry. And I move to proceed to calendar number 436, S4784.
In today's fucked up news, the US Treasury has unveiled Donald Trump's new money coin. And I'm gonna be real with you guys, this looks like absolute and complete dog shit. Like the most Temu shit you're ever gonna see in your life. Take a look. Comrades, this is a 5-alarm fire. Do you hear me? 5-alarm fire. Donald Trump on Thursday at 9 p.m. is going to federalize our elections. Let me explain. You guys remember when he rounded up the ballots at that swing state? Then you guys remember when he went to Venezuela and he kidnapped the president Maduro, right? So the game plan is, and this is pretty straightforward, he's going to say that he found evidence of the 2020 election being rigged. Then he's going to use Nicolas Maduro, because Nicolas Maduro really wants to get off scot-free, saying that Nicolas Maduro stole the 2020 election or that China or Russia interfered in the 2020 election. Once he does this, our democracy is over. Our republic is over. So I need you to focus. I need you to organize. I need you to mobilize. I need you to call your representatives today. And I need you to express your concern in this and to make sure that they fight back in every single way possible. Hey, Michigan, I wanted to ask you, what the fuck are we doing here? I just saw this poll and I'm severely confused as to why you are siding with Haley. I'm gonna keep it simple. There are two candidates in this race. One is an Israel first candidate and the other is fighting for your rights through Medicare for all, higher wages, and a union. If you do not believe me, I need you to watch these videos and see the stark difference in who they are.
And in the United States Congress, I will continue to fight for the people of Israel. I will continue to fight for Israel's existence. Israel comes to me in my dreams. I see Israel's future, and I know that Israel will continue to exist for the Jewish people.
This is a moral Rorschach test. Like, if you can't identify the systematic murder of tens of thousands of kids as a genocide, and then you want to say that you're a fighter for human rights and dignity, that's just hypocrisy. So I just think that if you can't call the most heinous violation of human rights what it is, it's hard for me to believe that you're going to go and fight the Trump administration or fight the pharma CEOs or fight the health insurance CEOs who are making my life unlivable.
Hey, Michigan, you have a pretty important Democratic race happening right now. So I'm going to show you two candidates, the only two candidates running. So here's Abdul El Sayed.
Every dollar we send abroad to drop a bomb on another kid is a dollar we don't spend here to invest in your kid's school or your health care. The reason that our economy is rigged so that we have a trillionaire and the average person can't afford their basic life is because we have an economy where we've allowed big corporations to buy and sell politicians to rig the system against us.
And now we have to be fair to the other side. So here is Haley Stevens.
And you better believe I'm going to be doing it with a little bit of joy, a little bit of enthusiasm, a little bit of energy, and a little bit of stick it to them. Because that's the Michigan way.
I think we kind of get who's the one who's going to work for you and help you and give you good benefits, and the other one. Yeah. So choose correctly, Michigan. Choose correctly. In today's fucked up news, wannabe white nationalist Vivek Ramaswamy argues that black people were actually better off during the Jim Crow years than they are today. Every Republican is a psychopath, and you can never convince me not. Take a listen.
Supposed aid from Lyndon Johnson's Great Society that actually rolled back some of the benefits that black families enjoyed, like a stable family foundation in the 1960s, no longer the case today, in part because the government gave them an incentive to live in single-parent households rather than dual-parent households. Affirmative action, effectively a cancer on our national soul, in part because it's a form of psychological slavery that holds black Americans back by teaching them that they can't get ahead without actually somebody giving them a boost.
In today's less fucked up news, Thomas Massie, the politician known for fighting the Epstein class, stands up to his own party, the GOP, when it comes to their election rigging lies.
I don't think the problem, is that our elections aren't secure because we control the House, we control the Senate, we control the White House, and in some degree we control the Supreme Court. So I asked my Republican colleagues, why are you complaining about election fraud? We won all the damn elections. The fraud that's going on is we're not holding ourselves to the promises that we made of fiscal responsibility, putting America first, making America healthy. The problem is we're wasting the opportunity that we were given in these elections, that we won, all of them.
In today's fucked up news, the Trump regime admits that the minute that they get a little bit more power, they're going to criminalize all dissent.
President Trump issued a directive in our parlance. It's called a National Security Presidential Memorandum, or NSPM, NSPM 7 to be exact, that directs for the first time in American history all of our law enforcement and intelligence agencies to work together to disrupt, identify, defund, debank, arrest, and prosecute these political terrorists that are operating in our country.
In today's less fucked up news, the left-wing queen Jennifer Welch comes out and slams homeschooling by stating it's nothing more than trickle-down stupidity.
I'll explain, and I'll use small words that you'll be sure to understand, you warthog-faced buffoon.
And honestly, I have no notes. This is 1000% correct. In today's hilarious news, Fox News anchors begin to panic during the coverage of Trump's Life Fest from last night. I suppose even state media is afraid of getting sued again for $800 million.
Also heard the president make claims that electronic voting machines are vulnerable and easily compromised. Fox News has not seen that evidence yet, is not in a position to evaluate the accuracy of the president's statements and claims at this time.
In today's less fucked up news, Abdul El Sayed perfectly explains how the American government has left behind the workers so they can justify the genocide it's committing overseas. Take a listen here.
You know, the big question for us is, what should the best use of our tax dollars be? You know, there are communities in Michigan where the median income is $14,000. Those schools look like they did 50 years ago. Kids are struggling to learn in overcrowded classrooms. In those communities, there are barely functional clinics. If they're not being closed already, they're being privatized. And the question to me is, how dare we advocate for sending our money to a foreign government to annihilate other people, when we could be using our money to save lives in those communities right there? And that's what I'm focused on. Now, everybody wants to focus on what's happening 6,000 miles away. I'm just saying that the focus ought to be what's happening right here in our own neighborhoods.
Hey, do you guys remember when we saw a Trump goon say this shit?
That public official must, in writing, explain how that person has violated the Constitution. Because, again, the separation of church and state is not in the Constitution.
Well, in the ultimate act of hypocrisy, here's Marco Rubio talking about Iran.
That's in Iran despite years of sanction. Imagine a year from now or a year and a half from now the capabilities they would have to inflict damage on us. It's an unacceptable risk, especially in the hands of a regime that's run by radical clerics. The Ayatollah was a radical cleric. That entire regime is led by radical clerics who don't make geopolitical decisions. They make decisions on the basis of theology, their view of theology, which is an apocalyptic one. That has to be taken very seriously as well. So that was the purpose for what this operation is all about. That's what.
In today's evil piece of shit protecting other evil piece of shit, Nick Fuentes calls for the release of Andrew and Tristan Tate. I've got an idea. Why don't we send the two brothers to a gulag and let them finish out their life sentences there? In today's What the Fuck news, the pedophile in chief announces that Lindsey Graham will be put on a $3 bill. I guess the only way to get your face on money nowadays is to kill thousands of children overseas. Thank you, Trump. In today's fucked up news, the most transparent administration in history has apparently been caught hiding how many soldiers have been injured and killed during the Iran war. In today's fucked up news, Trump argues that cutting SNAP was a good thing because it happened to more Democrats than Republicans. So MAGA, when you are starving to death, just remember you own the libs.
And, you know, largely, when you talk about SNAP, you're talking about largely Democrats. But I'm president. I want to help everybody. I want to help Democrats and Republicans. But when you're talking about SNAP, if you look, it's largely Democrats. They're hurting their own people. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. President.
In today's most obvious news, a report done by Congress itself shows that 80% of terrorism was actually committed by right-wing figures since 2001. In it, they write, based on the government and independent analysis, right-wing extremist violence has been responsible for the overwhelming majority of fatalities. So the next time you see the regime talk about left-wing terrorism, it's complete and utter bullshit. So Pete War Crimes Hegseth went to Congress today to demand that we pay $1.5 trillion to the Pentagon and to the war machine. Listen to how he justifies the need of this budget so he can kill more innocent people.
Rest assured that every dollar appropriated to the Department of War will be focused on building the lethality of our joint force and reinforcing peace through strength. As I have said before, not fully funding this department, the Department of War, and we know what that means, that means $1.5 trillion, given the world that we live in and the disaster of what the Biden administration budgets gave us. Not funding this department at $1.5 trillion, I believe, is the greatest threat that our nation faces. Either we invest in our warriors at this moment of step change on the battlefield and growing threats, or this is all just talk. I look forward to working with this committee to secure those funds so that our warfighters can continue to do their work every day to keep our great republic safe. Thank you very much.
In today's wild news, Andrew Tate is facing life in prison for a number of charges, which include, but not limited to, human trafficking, physical assault, child CP, and also sexual assault. This man is utterly and completely fucked, and I'm excited to see him go to jail. Yesterday, we saw Pete Hegseth justify his war crimes and talk about how the military has already spent $37.5 billion on the Iran war. But I don't think we really understand what that money could pay for here in America. So let's break it down, shall we? That money could pay for 150,000 affordable houses. It could fix 12,500 bridges. We could literally give $1,100 to 34 million low-income households. Or if we're feeling very generous, we could actually give 6.25 million people fully covered healthcare. Our government is using our money for nothing but crimes, and Pete Hegseth and the rest of the people assisting him should be thrown in jail right fucking now. In today's fucked up news, Trump is threatening mass death and destruction to the Iranian people if they do not comply with his insane requests. He specifically threatens bridges and power plants. Now I want you to ask yourself a question. If a power plant explodes, does it not cause mass starvation? And when millions of people start dying, are you going to be comfortable sleeping at night? In today's disgusting news, Congressman Randy Fine, also known as the world's largest Zionist, states that Zohar Mamdani should be removed from our country because he's a danger to America. Hey Randy, you know what's a real danger to America? This shit. Breaking news, comrades. Wolf Blitzer just embarrassed Donald Trump to his face at a live dinner. Watch this video and you can see the man seething in the bottom of his soul.
This year's award goes to the Wall Street Journal. The Journal's courageous reporting on President Trump's past relationship with financier Jeffrey Epstein triggered the release of the so-called Epstein files, thousands of documents that might otherwise have remained hidden from the public. And despite the president's threat of a lawsuit, the Journal published a story about a provocative letter to Epstein bearing President Trump's signature. Trump quickly filed a $20 billion lawsuit against the Journal, revealing reporter Khadija Safdar's home address. Her family had to be relocated. The Journal was kicked off of Air Force One, but the reporters continue to file revelatory stories. Please welcome the winners of the Katharine Graham Award from the Wall Street Journal. Khadija Safdar, Sadie Gurman, Annie Linsky, Josh Dawsey again, Alex Leary, Rebecca
Pleased to announce my intention to, and this is somewhat of a scoop, my intention to run for a fourth term as President of the United States. I will be doing that. I will be having an official, in fact, I think I have, I won 3 times. Now I'm going to do it again. Thank you. I'm going to do it. Should be easy. I'm getting very good at running for president. No, I won 3 times, did very well the second time, by the way.
In today's less fucked up news, Thomas Massie is proposing a bill that would remove certain funding mechanisms from any state who uses or assists in the creation of flock cameras. And if you're wondering about my opinion on this, fuck flock cameras forever. In today's hilarious news, wanted criminal Benjamin Netanyahu calls out America's mayor and states he is spreading hate speech because Zoran demanded that Netanyahu be arrested for his crimes. Can you imagine being enough of a psychopath to murder tens of thousands of people, but then turn around and cry like a little bitch over words? So I saw this, and I thought to myself, that's clickbait, there's no fucking way that's real. Then I googled it, and it turned out that it's real. And then I thought to myself, holy shit, the oligarchs, especially Elon Musk, are just outing themselves as, bourgeoisie, pedophilic, evil Nazi pieces of shit. And that's late stage capitalism for your friends. In today's fucked up news, AI companies are now buying extremely old books so that they can scan them, implement them into their AI, and then shred them after. Let's ask ourselves why this is happening. Is it because they just want to preserve the book? Is it because they want to make sure it's more accessible to the public? Or is it because if you can restrict access to knowledge, you can control the population? George Orwell once wrote, "Whoever controls the past controls the future." Maybe you MAGA fucks in my comments should go read that book and then come back to me with your full analysis. In today's more interesting news, Alex Jones, or better known as the biggest right-wing hack in America, just announced that he is calling for Donald Trump's impeachment. Trump's strongest warriors are now his biggest enemies, and you love to see it.
The big issue is how to stop Trump. And we have to have Congress go for the war powers. They've 3 times tried to vote war powers. They're supposed to authorize a war. This is a war. They're getting the draft ready. If this isn't a war, nothing's a war. I mean, this is absolutely out of control. And so I'm calling for it right now. 25th Amendment, impeachment, whatever needs to happen to get this front and center.
So Hassan Piker recently has been in the news over and over and over about his 9/11 comments. For example,
it's really cartoonish abuse. He breaks every taboo. He says America deserved 9/11. He condones the October 7 attacks on Israel. You pointed all of that out very well.
And so today he came out and he spit absolute fire with a complete and utter rebuttal that honestly, I don't know if the right-wing hacks can actually defend. Take a listen to this.
Donald Trump has said more fucked up things about 9/11 than I ever could. Donald Trump on the morning of 9/11 called in to a radio show to say, well, at least my Trump Tower is now the highest building standing on Wall Street. That's real. Look it up. But Donald Trump, once again, white, Republican, American president, super pro-Israel. It doesn't even fucking matter. Do you understand? So there are a lot of people who want to be very precious about who gets to talk about 9/11 and how they get to talk about 9/11. It's completely cynical. It's completely cynical, and we have to stop playing this fucking game. That's it. This was a tragedy, and you are cynically trying to use this tragedy to foment Islamophobia, because that's the reality. You don't give a shit. You don't give a shit about the victims. You don't give a shit about the impact. You just want to use this horrible tragedy where almost 3,000 Americans died to continue lying about Muslims, to continue shitting on Muslims, oftentimes at the behest of Israel. So, sucks to suck.
Yeah, more leftists need to speak out about this because he's right. The way we have allowed these MAGA fascists to politicize 9/11 is disgusting, and people need to be punished for that. Let me be even more clear. Piker is right when he said America deserved 9/11. Republicans leave out the rest of his statement because the context doesn't fit their narrative. Hassan has always maintained the position that America's actions of war crimes and destabilization and regime change in the Middle East led to the blowback of 9/11. He was explaining the concept of blowback, and allow me to be even more blunt. The U.S. and especially Israel commit a 9/11 equivalent atrocity almost daily in the Middle East. If it's not us, then it's Israel using our tax dollars and weapons. Had Iran bombed an all-girls school in New York, we would never hear the end of it. It would be a national day of remembrance every single year, but this is just another day in the Middle East.
Look, I'm going to be the asshole that tells you this because no one else is going to. You're never becoming a millionaire. The statistical possibility of that is less than 10%. And you're definitely never going to become a billionaire. You're more likely to be struck by lightning and to win the lottery on the exact same day than you are going to become a billionaire. I don't tell you this to be mean or to be rude. I tell you this to wake you up to the reality in which you live in. You've been lied to your whole life. You've been told that if you just work hard enough, you'll go further. Meritocracy in this country is dead. Okay? Now that you know it's dead, you can actually gain something called class consciousness. It's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing. And once you gain it, you will see through the lies and the propaganda and the bullshit you have been taught your whole life. I want you to wake up. I want you to realize that the system in which you live in is rigged against you. It's not the trans people. It's not the immigrants. It's only one group. One group and one group only. And that is the billionaire and the oligarchic class.